Well, what happened was that second game, we got our ass kicked. Or the second half, we just got our ass totally kicked. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. The second half, we sucked. We couldn't stop the run. Every time they got the ball, they went down and got points. We got our ass totally kicked in the second half. That's what it boiled down to. It was a horse performance in the second half. Horse. I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed.
Yeah, and that's about how I feel. Totally embarrassed and totally ashamed. This team played like shit. I had to sit here during the middle of a live stream and to be chided by my Eagles subscribers to a point where I was getting upset. And that's just how I roll. I get a little heated during the game. I try and keep my composure. But again, I don't like the piling on, but it comes with the territory. So pile on. Again, we were a 6.5 point favorite going into the game. Like I told everybody prior to the game, that if we lose the game, I don't care, by 3 points, it makes the Cleveland game irrelevant in my mind. It's about NFC victories, especially when it comes to tiebreakers. And you put that piss poor performance out there today. You put a piss poor performance with your home opener. The last time that your team saw you, your fans saw you at home, you were getting rolled by the Green Bay Packers. And what did you do? You got rolled by the New Orleans Saints. Boy, was I wrong about the Saints, but it does not matter. What matters is we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop the pass. Mike Zimmer, who I believe is a good football coach and will have the Dallas defense better, made me look foolish. And, it's ridiculous. The $60 million man looked not good today. Okay, people can make excuses for Dak Prescott. You do it. I will not make excuses. You overthrow a CeeDee Lamb who's open, okay, and you overthrow him. That's on you, Dak. When the game was close, you missed your guy. And then you're making throws into double coverage at the end instead of, listen, if CD is double and triple covered, somebody's got to be one-on-one. Identify the one-on-one matchup and attack it. If the D-back makes a play on it, so be it. I could live with that. But I can't live with how Dak Prescott played. 27 for 39, way too many passes. I get it, you were behind. 239, 1 touchdown, 2 INTs. He was sacked 3 times. Okay, sacked 3 times. Yet, a lot of the Cowboy fans who laughed at me when I said if Dak were to leave, a guy like David Carr would be a type of guy that you should maybe look at. 11 for 16. That's it. 243, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. Sacked once. The offensive line for the Dallas Cowboys played pathetic. The defensive line played pathetic. Michael Parsons, Mr. I want to be paid the highest I want to be the highest non-quarterback. You're not even the best, and I've said this before. Listen, I love you, but you're not even the best defensive player in the league. You're at least 3. You're probably number 3. You're behind TJ Watt. TJ Watt doesn't do what you did today. He won't, Micah. Sorry. He won't be a no-show. TJ Watt gets double covered. You got to be better than that. You were nowhere to be found. You left your lunch pail on the Bleacher Report set, I guess. I don't know. Rico Dowdle, 7 for 30, 4.3. Number one, all this aside, we're obviously upset. And again, a 3-point loss and a 30-point loss are the same. Now, we lost 44-19. We lost by 25 points, and it really wasn't that close, I don't believe. But to me, it starts with coaching. As much as I'm upset with Micah and I'm upset with everybody on the defense, the linebackers, Trayvon Diggs, Seatbelt Carson looked like he His seatbelt snapped in half. Our safeties, Donovan Wilson, played like shit. Malik Hooker didn't play good. It was a total team loss. You can't say it was just Dak Prescott. But you get paid $60 million to complete those passes that are open for touchdowns. That's the end of the story. I'm not going to make excuses for you. Other people can. I'm not doing it. Mozzie Smith, you stunk today, my man. You stunk. You were non-existent. Again, I'm sure you're a nice guy. You were not good. But the good thing, Mozzie, Micah, and everybody else I've ripped, you were all bad. So it's not like there's any redeeming qualities. You know, Rico Dowdle is 7 for 30, like I said. I hated what Mike McCarthy did and how he called the game. Mike McCarthy, you called the game like shit. Looked like you were ordering from Red Robin's. You weren't. I mean, what was on that menu? Because you were not allowing your players to get into any sort of rhythm whatsoever. There was no rhythm at all. Ezekiel Elliott, 6 for 16. Not good. Dak Prescott ran 2 for 12. Deuce Vaughn, 4 for 11. Not good. Cavante, listen, stop it with the sweeps and the jet sweeps. Certain defenses ain't falling for that shit. CeeDee Lamb, 4 for 80 and a touchdown. Okay. Jalen Tolbert had a big game, 6 for 82. Luke Schoonmaker did well, 6 for 43. Rico, 4 for 29. Cooks, 2 for 19. Jalen Brooks had the big drop, or he fell down, which caused the first Dak interception. The first one was not on Dak. It was going to hit him in the numbers until he fell. But let's go to the defense. The defense was horrendous. Alvin Kamara, 20 for 115, 5.8 average. 3 rushing touchdowns, 4 total touchdowns. Jamal Williams, 8 for 39, 4.9 a clip. Taysom Hill, 3 for 18, 6 yards a clip. Receiving, Shaheed, 4 for 96 and a tutty. Olave, 4 for 81. And we're talking gash plays. Huge gash plays. We couldn't stop them. We gave up 14 in the first quarter, 21 in the second, 6 and then 3. We came out after halftime. Yeah, we did better on defense. We gave up 9 points in the second half. We scored 3. So Mike McCarthy, look no further than yourself. You want to be the coach of the Cowboys? You can't allow this. You cannot allow this. You want a contract extension? You cannot allow this. We all lose. There's not going to be an undefeated team this year. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go on a limb and say that. There will not be an undefeated team this year. But to lose in the manner and fashion that you did tells me that you're not learning your lessons, or that you took this team for granted, or your communication skills with your team. Now, Mike Zimmer, this is the last time that we're going to have this conversation. Zim, as much as I had your back, I don't know what kind of defense. I told everybody leading into the game that there's no way you could play zone against this team. I said it before. I said, there's no way Zim's going to play zone. This team gets rid of the ball too quick. Hard to sack David Carr. The only possibility that you have to shut him down and to get him thrown off when a guy's getting rid of the ball that quick is to be get up in the receivers and the tight ends' face. You might give up a big play. That's the chance you take. You got to jam them at the line of scrimmage, get up in their grill, and attack David Carr. Get him off the spot. Get him behind early in the game. You did the opposite. You let him get comfortable. You played zone. Did not like anything about this game. At the end, if they lost to a better team, then fine. If I was wrong about New Orleans, then fine. But what we just saw today, if I was Jerry Jones, I'd be sick to my stomach. I would be sick to my stomach if I was Jerry Jones. Yes, I would. I would be absolutely disgusted from what I saw. My $60 million quarterback decided to not show up. My head coach, who you got fighting for a job, decided to call a shitty game. My 1-year a defensive coordinator who I really like, Mike Zimmer, did not have his best day. And maybe it needs to reevaluate playing zone defense. We just saw this in Green Bay. We just saw it. Absolutely uncalled for. Uncalled for. Teams, the team stats. New Orleans. Let me share my screen on this one. 432 yards total. We had 353, and it really wasn't as close as that. Turnovers. We had 2. Dak forced it. I don't care how much you're down. You can't force the ball over the middle of the field like that. You can't. The one we got was a gimme late in the game. It was a gimme. First downs, 24-20. Time of possession. This does not tell the story. This does not tell the story, people. It absolutely does not. I need to see Wilson a little bit. There you go. There's Wilson. I'm not feeling too happy right now, people. A loss is a loss is a loss. I get it. But with the Ravens now 0-2, the Ravens decided to lose today. Everything's upside down. We are now going to play a wounded 0-2 team. Now, all due respect, I had them 1-2 after 3 games. But you don't get credit for the Cleveland game now. You lost it. You lost to a NFC opponent who you're going to have to deal with in the playoffs, possibly on the road in the Superdome, if we even make the playoffs. Now, I know, like, what everybody's saying. What do you say? I'm not giving up on my team, but when you have a total team collapse coming off of last year's playoff collapse, then I really question what's going on here. Maybe we do need to. I was on board with a coaching change after that game. You don't lose a game like that and be able to come back necessarily whole. A part of you is left on that field. And yet it happens the next home game. And Jerry Jones wants to talk about season ticket sales were the fastest that we've ever sold it. Yeah, that's because they're selling their tickets, Jerry. At the end of the day, they love their football team. But like Mike Tagg does, he's a season ticket holder and unloads most of them. And, I don't blame the fans. I don't blame them. I would have been booing. At halftime, I would have been booing every minute of every second of that second half. Jerry Jones is probably sick to his stomach saying, why the hell did I give Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb money if we're going to come out and perform like that? Now, does that mean it's going to happen for the rest of the year? No, but it's a kick in the you-know-what. It's a kick in the stomach. We'll just call it that. That game gave me the bubble guts just watching it because it brought back memories. Like, are you kidding me? Literally the first home game, you're going to come out and play that way? It's astounding to me. Now we got another home game next week. And Dak says, well, it fuels the fire for next week. Okay. I want a team. Listen, I know. We saw the Niners go into Minnesota and lose. I get it. But to get embarrassed does not make me feel good. Now the tape is out there. It reminded me of the Arizona game, but yet in your house. We won every home game last year. It's like we were neutered in that playoff game. That's how I feel. Now, again, this too shall pass. I get 24 hours to light them up. I will be streaming tomorrow night's Eagles game, Monday Night Football. Come and join me, and maybe we'll see the Eagles lose. I doubt it. Eagles seem to know how to take advantage of a situation here. I doubt they're going to lose. We're the team that shit the bed. They won't shit the bed tomorrow night. And I already know. I told you, I don't think their defense is any good. But the way we played today, I can't talk about anybody else's defense. I got to worry about myself because I expected more from my guys, and they didn't give it to me. In the immortal words of
crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Dennis Green.
Hello? You play
Herm
to win
Edwards.
the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win.
Do it. Do it! Come on, kill me, I'm here! Come on, do it now, kill me!
Do it now. Do it now. Kill me. Kill me now. My God. What a display of suck-assing. I don't know how else to say it. It was horrendous watching that performance. I don't know why I rushed home. I rushed home to watch that shit. It's ridiculous. Listen, I'm upset because it's our first home game after one of the most embarrassing losses you could have in the playoffs at home as a favorite. Yeah, we were a favorite again today. Probably I want to say we were a 6.5 point favorite in the playoff game too, that everybody was making post-game parties for against the Packers when we got smoked. We were 6.5 point favorites this morning. Now, I'm never a fan of the 1 o'clock game in Dallas because it's 12 o'clock there, and who the hell knows? It's no excuse. You got to be ready to play. And they were not ready to play. Will they bounce back against the Ravens next week? Only time will tell. I couldn't have been more wrong through 2 weeks, through 2 games about my Dallas Cowboys. One thing I do know is that there is a lot of talent on that defense. What I do know is they're going to give a really good effort next week. But the problem is you're going up against an unbelievable running game and desperate team and Lamar Jackson, who's mobile. Dallas doesn't do good against mobile quarterbacks. But maybe, just maybe, they'll beat the Ravens next week. I did tell everybody in the chat, I said, it doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or by 35, 25, whatever the hell it was. A loss is a loss. But it doesn't make you feel good that the last 2 times you lined up on your field, you got blowed out. Literally. Halftime. Handshakes at halftime. So, very, very frustrating, people. Go ahead, let me have it. You know, it sucks being a Cowboy fan anymore. We're a very talented team. I'm not making excuses. It wasn't the refs. It was our own self-inflicted, whether it's coaching and game plan. The one thing I do know, I don't see Belichick getting beat this bad very often. You know, he may lose, but he's a hell of a defensive coach. And for a team who doesn't want to go out and add high-end talent, let's say, Belichick is the best in doing that. Now, are we going to go get Belichick? I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt that Belichick would want to come to the Cowboys next year. Let's hope. Let's hope that we turn this around and use this, as Dak says, as motivation going forward. I think we can. I like the talent we have on this team. We're young on the offense. We're young in certain areas on the defense. It just seemed like they were not there emotionally. They were flat. They kind of reminded me of Sean O'Malley last night at the Sphere. He came out flat. And then when he finally woke up, it was round 5 and he hurts the guy and it was too late. It was too late. You can't come out flat, especially after last year's performance, people. You know, we're all emotional. We get 24 hours to let it go. I will let it go. I'll be back and I ain't going anywhere. And I think we could, you know, I'm right where we had them. I had us losing to Cleveland, beating New Orleans. So we're 1-1. But it was an opportunity lost, people. Absolute opportunity lost. But for that, there's not much more I could say. You know, I'm never not going to be We Dumb Boys.
We them boys. How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
It's rough saying that today, but at the end, I'm a Cowboys fan. We'll bounce back. I expect the defense to, I expect this whole team to have a little pride next week. I'll talk to you later.